How do you deal with massive change in your business? How do you deal with threats from bigger competitors who are well-heeled coming after you and hurting you? Think about what retail has gone through. Many people are scared in retail because they see Amazon taking sales from them. They see the big box stores that are coming out there. What are they going to do? Well, hi, I'm Terry Brock, and I want to share with you a concept that I read about in an article recently, and it really has a lot of hope, not just for retail, but for many other businesses. If you're in business, you're going to be displaced by new technology. Technology is constantly changing. It's constantly moving around. It's constantly improving, and what worked before is not necessarily going to work today, but there's a way to do it. And what I want to do is take a look at an article that I saw recently here in the Wall Street Journal. This was written just recently here, and you'll see that it was May 23rd, 2019. One bookstore finds the secret to succeeding in the Amazon age. It's a bookstore called Acapello Books. It's in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and it has survived, even thrived, the same way other indie bookstores have. And here's the real key. They are rethinking the way it makes money. And that's something that you want to look into as well. Rethink the way you're doing business. You need to do that on a regular basis. See, what they were running into is the problem here that's very well understood. Frank Reese's business spent 10 years on the edge of collapse. It was in a market where, hey, they're being dominated as a bookstore, as a small local bookstore. Amazon was really growing. As we know, this is where many of us buy books today. But what he did is he was wondering what we're going to do. You know, we've got the tone out here. I love this way he says it here. I think the facelessness of e-commerce has stirred in enough people a sense of nostalgia for real stores, buying real products from real people, having conversations. I like that. And this is where we are. So the market has changed a little bit on that. And they look at a big turnaround right now. Matter of fact, it is happening right now. Look at this. The number of locations of bookstores now rising to 2,470 currently from 1,651 in 2009, the first year the ABA, the American Booksellers Association, started tracking the number. So we see it is on the rise. There is sentiment there. But what happened is he started thinking about the idea of bringing in authors, having authors come in for book signings and really go in on specific niches on that. They found an area that was not being served and that Amazon's certainly not doing. Amazon doesn't have bookstores all over the place with authors coming in and regularly signing and doing that, and promoting it through social media. You see, right now we've got a lot of potential that we didn't have before because of social media. We're seeing that it's here. Interesting how they're able to work with a lot of different people, having these events here. People come in and see what's going on. Here's Rachel Maddow with Mr. Reese, two book festival officials. So they've got this, having people there and being able to talk about that. They have a particular political point of view, very liberal, progressive point of view in Atlanta, Georgia, which is interesting. But they're selling their books and catering to that niche, doing very well. And what they've done is they have done a lot of possibilities. He got advice from his dad. Here's what happened. Mr. Reese got advice from his dad, who also owned a bookstore. Author events, his father told him, could be the answer. So he started with Al Franken, who would embark on a tour for The Truth with jokes. Mr. Reese begged Franken's producer to include Atlanta on his tour, and he got a yes. So that's nice there. They were using that, being able to get there. And what they did, look at this. Mr. Reese figures that between the signing and the radio show, he sold 500 books for full retail price, $25.95 each, clearing about $13,000 in sales in one day and night. And get this, that equaled almost half of his revenue for an average month. And so what he did is he started selling those, and people were happy to pay the full retail price to be there and hear the author, get the author sign the book, see them, etc. And the whole point is they've been able to turn that around so that now his business is doing much, much more. Now, these days, most of the books that he has are new. You know, although rare books are out there that he can get, and he can sell those, some of them selling them for $10,000 in recent years. If it's a signed first edition of Gone with the Wind or those, but sometimes they're not able to do that as well in the internet economy. But what you can do, and the lesson for you is when you're in that situation, not if, but when you're in there and you feel like you're being swamped, time to be creative. Time to stretch those creativity muscles, and that is really good as an entrepreneur. When things get tough and you don't have the cash, that's good. Getting too much cash can actually be a problem for a business. I know you think, well, let me try to have that problem. Yeah, Many times when you don't have it, you have to be extra creative. You have to come up with other ways to improvise, to adapt, to overcome what's going on, and how to treat that in your business in a certain way. And so I'm finding I'm doing that. Thinking outside the box is a phrase that's been used a lot. Well, that's another way of putting it. What you got to do is go and hit your competitors where they ain't. Bad English, I know, but hit them where they ain't is often a good place, and a good place to be, a good way to think when you're out there competing. Find out what your competitors are not doing, and you go out and do it even better. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Tell me what you think about that, and I will look forward to hearing from you here on whatever platform you're getting this on, and it will be great to hear from you. I'm Terry Brock. You can reach me over at terrybrock.com, and I will look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining me.